here with another episode of Kirkcaldy's Heritage in 50 Objects, and I'm here once again with Alan. Hello Alan, how are you?
Hi, hello Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, so am I, and thanks again for having me. I really do appreciate it.
The reception that we've had from the podcast has been really positive. You could really tell that people are engaging with the objects and the people.
Yeah, we always thought it would be a slow burner. We're getting plenty of hits on the website. We could do a wee bit more traffic and memories and stories on the Facebook page. But it'll come. The great thing is we're on number 6 this week, and anybody joining at any time can go back to number 1. It's been quite a positive month.
I'm very curious about this object.
The object. Well, before we go to the object, can I give a little bit of praise to that well-known local musician, Richard Michael? Very jazz-orientated, but he was the head of music at Beath High School. We'd been tinkering with the idea of the audio clips that we have, of putting a little introduction by way of sound, just to enhance it, and also to drown out my voice, which I really don't like. None of the three of us are musical, but Richard came along and offered to do a little, for want of a better word, a theme tune. Mm-hmm. And he's done a wonderful grand piano version of Weaving Geordie Munro, the wee Cooper of Fife, into a tune. And it's on our Facebook page in full, but we're using it to introduce the audio clips. So a bit new, made to make a wee bit more professional. And Richard has said that after 10 objects, he'll write another, and so on and so forth until the 15th. Richard's doing a carol concert on his Facebook page on Friday at 7 o'clock. An hour of his piano playing of carols in the style of various jazz musicians. And you can watch for nothing or you can donate, and he's giving the money to Kirkcaldy Food Bank every penny. So he plugs since he was good enough to us.
And it's such a worthy cause at the moment. I hope that our listeners will tune in and support him and the food bank.
Well, you're anxious to know about Bawbee Chickailes.
I've got no idea what you're going to start talking about, Alan. I'm very fascinated.
I spend my life speaking to younger people who have no idea and older people who have a faint idea. It's a game singular to Kirkcaldy. Nothing else like it was played in Scotland. And its site was, for most of the time it was played, was the green in Ravenscraig Castle. Now, Bawbee Chickailes, and the connection, which is still there to this day, of course, is that the Kyles housing the flats, that's taken from the game. Mm-hmm. So we're going way back to when Ravenscraig Castle was garrisoned, and that's in the 17th century. And on Hansel Monday, or New Year's Day latterly, the castle was flung open so that the friends and family of the retainers could come in, meet them, and there was sports, food and games. And the suspicion is that Bawbee Chickailes stems from that time. So what was it? Well, it was a gambling game, but two kinds of gambling, and probably in the modern world, bowls is the closest. Yeah, bowls would be the closest game to it. So how was it played? Well, you had 6 players. You then had 9 holes dug into the ground, 5 inches in diameter, and from a mark 10 yards away, you rolled a cannonball, and the cannonball is still in Kirkcaldy Museum. And if you managed to get the cannonball in the hole, that was called a kyle. Now you'd be thinking, that's not very interesting. But the grass was unkempt, it was bumpy, and you're talking about an 8-pound cannonball. There was luck, there was skill. But the great thing was, before the game started, each of the 6 players put down a bawbee. That was the pot. They drew lots to roll the ball, and the first one to get into the hole was the winner and scooped the kitty. But the hole was only an inch wider than the ball. So it wasn't the easiest of things. Now, after the first 6 shots, if there was no winner, another 6 bawbees went down, and so on until somebody won. The game always started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was played until they got fed up or they ran out of bawbees. But the spectators could also bet, and that's where the name comes from. They didn't bet on a game, they would bet on an individual shot. So the second the ball left the player's hand, one spectator would cry, "A Bawbee she Kyles." Another would immediately say, "A Bawbee she Disney." So the bet was won. Did the ball go in the hole? Did the ball not go in the hole? It was really a gala day at Pathhead. I mean, people streamed into the castle on New Year's morning, or as I say, originally Hansel Monday. Hansel Monday was the first Monday after New Year. It was a day of giving gifts in the old Scots, and I believe still in some parts of rural Scotland, it's still recognised as the first Monday after the 12th of January. It's a throwback to them not recognising the change from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. There was mutton pies sold, there were all kinds of pasties, and a delicacy of Seville oranges. So it was a great day, and there was young kids with candles who took people on tours of the Bloody Well. The Bloody Well being where it was suggested that dead soldiers were flung into the well. So you can take that from
Wow.
very, very popular. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of people attending every New Year's Day, only day the castle was opened. But in 1911, the castle didn't open. There was a note on the gate saying possible damage and cracks in one wall, unsafe, and therefore it would not be open this year. And for the one and only time in its history, it was played in Millie's Park, which was in Back Row. Now you'll be saying, where's that? Back Row is now Commercial Street. Millie had a factory and he had a huge garden or a park, and it was played there once in 1911, and then it fell into, it just didn't happen again until 1930. Now, what happened in 1930? Well, Michael Nairn had gifted Ravenscraig Park to the town, and they took advantage of resurrecting the game on St Dominic's Green. That's one of the little towers that look over the sea.
Oh yeah.
It was there from 1930 until 1952, when sadly no one was turning up. The young had new ideas to celebrate New Year. Was either too infirm or passed away, and the game has not been played since 1954. A great pity, because though the young don't know about it, it was a tremendous tradition in Kirkcaldy. So what are we doing about it, you might ask? Well, we've written to the 8 bowling clubs in the town. We don't want them turning out on New Year's Day in the bitter cold, but we're rather hoping we can resurrect a game on Midsummer's Day, hosted by the Civic Society, maybe scones and cream and, just a nice day out. And we're hoping we can get 2 people or 2 members of each club, just play each other, 2 points for a win, point for a draw, and the winner will become the owner of a trophy for the next year. Now, whether we can do it, whether we'll have the appetite, or whether we have the appetite, but whether we can encourage the bowling clubs, we're going to try. But as I've said, with other things we've done, we're trying to get ScotRail to put a picture of the lady who wrote The Boy in the Train beside the...
Yeah, Mary Campbell Smith.
Beside the poem.
Yeah.
We're trying to resurrect this one. And last month we covered John Blythe's cultural debt to the town, and John Blythe is dead 60 years next year. On 1923, it's 150th year since his birth. We are hoping that we can perhaps get an exhibition of his paintings in the gallery, if only for a month. So it's not just trying to go over the past, we're trying to, in some small way, make them come back to life. So there you are. You know as much about Bawbee Kyles as anybody, and I got it from a piece written by a Mr. Barry, who was, I know he was out of town of Kirkcaldy since 1907, but for one of the librarians way back in the 60s, he wrote down the rules. and it's from there that we've got the exact way it was played.
That is absolutely
Interestingly,
fascinating. Yeah.
interestingly, Mr. Barry told us, or not told us, he told the library that the last time it was played properly, it was cine camera was used. Now there is a recording somewhere, possibly not right enough, but there may be a recording somewhere of the game actually being played. And it would be lovely. I don't know if it was Mr. Barry took it, I don't know who it was, but if it could be found, what a wonderful, that would be a wonderful achievement or result from our efforts. So there you are, that's Bawbee Kirkcaldy.
That's absolutely fascinating, and I really love the idea that you're trying to recreate this piece of Kirkcaldy history.
Yeah, it's when you think about it, that was what they did on New Year's Day. They just poured there to meet friends and family, and it would be nice to hark back to a different time. And I would love to see the game played. We've even managed to get a cannonball. We got one made, the proper 8 pounds weight, 5-inch diameter. So it's all there. All we need are the players.
So this is a call out to the local bowlers and the bowling
It's a call
clubs.
to the local bowlers. It's a call out to the local bowlers. Every single team in Kirkcaldy. 2 people, a bit of fun on a Saturday or a Sunday. Enjoy a cream tea and recreate history. What more can you ask for?
Not much after that. Not much after that. That was absolutely fascinating. Thank you, Alan.